Hejsan everybody allihopa and welcome to my channel. I'm Alejandra and I'm dressed as an architect today because we're gonna be talking about Scandinavian furniture. Furniture that I see a lot in Scandinavian homes and that are made by Scandinavians. Yes. I have a little list. I have prepared a little Pinterest board and a little list. Let me grab my computer. Let's get started. The first piece of furniture I wanted to talk about is a furniture piece, or it's a chair that I saw someone had it at home, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, in a home that Paige Wassel was reviewing. And I remember she didn't really like this chair. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of this chair either. I don't think it's amazing, but it's super expensive. It's definitely a classic that is still super popular and super trendy. And I'm talking about the chair that in English it's called the Wishbone chair. I don't even know what that means. Why is it called that? Does someone know? In Swedish, it's called Y-stolen. The Y chair, because it has sort of a Y in the back. I think that's the reason. And it comes in different colors. I think it was made a million years ago. It seems like it was made in the late 40s, 49 or maybe 50s. And it's definitely a classic. It's made by Hans J. Wegner, as I would pronounce it in Swedish. I guess the Danes would say Hans J. Wegner or something like that, because Danes don't really pronounce words. And I think the prices go from around 2,000 something Danish crowns, which in Swedish crowns is even more, and in dollars I have no idea. Maybe $300 each or something like that. It's definitely a classic, and I think a lot of people have them at home, which makes me wonder if everyone is rich. But I know it's also sold a lot on the secondhand market, so maybe people buy them secondhand, or people like to really invest in a good chair. I guess this chair will last you a very long time. It feels very sturdy. And I mean, the style has been surviving all these years, so I guess it's a good investment. I don't mind that people pay a lot of money on furniture if it's well produced by people that got paid under fair working conditions and so on. So I actually like that people think before they buy things. The second piece of furniture that I wanted to talk about is a vintage classic. And this is interesting because IKEA has a lot of furniture. This is an IKEA furniture piece. IKEA is considered to be cheap and bad quality and so on, but it's super, super popular, both in Sweden. IKEA is Swedish. And I also really enjoy, it's like a whole genre for me to watch videos by Americans when they try to pronounce IKEA names. They are always so, I really like that. I think it's super funny. But the IKEA chair, which is the one I'm gonna talk to you about, is called Diana Safari Chair. It's a safari chair. Is that a word in? I don't know if that's a thing, but it's called safari stol in Swedish. And we can see this chair in a number of different versions from this time by different designers. The IKEA one, the Diana one, or Diana in English, I'm gonna show you a photo of it. Diana chair IKEA. It's a wooden chair that has kind of a very square shape to it. I think it's a great chair. I wish I had one of these at home. I think it's beautiful. And it obviously has aged very well, and it was made, the IKEA chair was made by the designer, or drawn by the designer Karin Mobring. This one, if you see this one in a nice condition, it's probably quite expensive. This IKEA chair, which I guess was quite affordable back when it was launched in the I think it was in the 70s, it's quite expensive to buy now. And I think this kind of style will continue to be popular for a very long time. This chair, as I said, has been made in different versions by different architects and designers. A lot of architects are also designers, furniture designers. And the safari chair comes in so many different, not shapes, because the shape is the same, but in different versions and styles. It comes in fabric, like a thicker cotton fabric or leather. And this one is in like caramel colored leather. That ages very well. It's a beautiful chair. I wish I had it at home, and I see it a lot on Facebook Marketplace, and I see it a lot in people's homes. It's definitely a very modern, classic furniture piece. The third chair, this is, maybe I should rename this to be like a chair, only talking about chairs, a chair video. This chair is also a Scandinavian. I think it's like a classic mid-century piece, and it's still very modern. I see it in people's homes. I see it in like magazines a lot, and I've seen different versions of this as well. I'm talking about the egg chair, and it was designed by Arne Jacobsen, also a Danish architect that made a lot of furniture, or in Danish it would probably be Arne Jacobsen. I have no idea. Arne Jacobsen, the egg chair. It has a very egg-like shape. I guess that's where the egg comes from. And it has a very like soft, but still like kind of architectural or sculptural shape to it. I guess that's why it's so popular. And I think this is also one of those pieces that will age very well because it has lasted for such a long time. It will probably be more or less popular in the future, but I think we will see this for a very long time, which is quite cool. I don't know when this was designed the first time. Egg chair on Jacobsen. When was this designed? Oh, it was created 1958 for the SAS Royal Hotel in downtown Copenhagen. There you go. So it's from 58. I mean, it's quite cool. We are now in 23. It's cool to see that the same piece, sometimes it's not even like been reupholstered or anything. Sometimes it's like in the same fabric or leather that it was designed in the first place. It's cool to see that we have those super old furniture pieces in our homes. I think Scandinavians are quite good at that, creating good design that will last for a long time. I guess this is also why it's popular, it's widespread to talk about Scandinavian architecture and Scandinavian design. And the materials are usually wood. We have a lot of trees here in Northern Europe, and leather, or sometimes cotton or wool. A lot of natural materials, and I think it's cool to see that those pieces last for such a long time. I don't know if I'm a super big fan of this one in particular. I don't know, it's something about this kind of shape that it's like surrounds you that it feels like enclosing, or it's like a closed kind of piece rather than an open one. So I prefer the Karin Mobring chair rather than this one, but I think this is way more expensive. The last piece I wanted to talk about, also a chair, so this is obviously a chair video, is by an architect called Bruno Mattsson, also a Danish guy, and he made a lot of pieces that are super popular, but this one in particular that I'm thinking of now is called Pernilla. Was Bruno Mattsson Danish? Or is Bruno Mattsson Swedish? Fact checker. Bruno Mattsson was Swedish, and this chair is named Pernilla. Pernilla is a woman's name in Swedish. In Sweden, people are called Pernilla, and this is what it looks like. It's probably something you've seen, or something you've seen a version of. It comes in different materials. It often has a little leg rest that you can pair it with. And I think this one is something I would enjoy. Instead of having this stool that you maybe see, or this chair that you maybe see behind me, I would very much enjoy to have a chair from Bruno Mattsson. Because it makes me think of like old men reading books, and I can identify with that, being like reading in a nice comfy chair. Like I can see that's me. So this is something I would really much enjoy to have at home. Maybe I need to do a follow-up video with other furniture pieces that aren't only chairs. Let me know if you want me to do one of those videos. And yeah, also for those of you who are here because Caroline Winkler sent you, shout out Caroline. I know a lot of you are waiting for me to update on how I actually, like what happened with my living room. I'm sitting in my living room right now, and that video is coming, and I hope sooner than later, but it's gonna take a while because we want to buy pieces that we really love, and I only buy things secondhand unless it's like a small designer that I want to support. And buying things secondhand takes a little time because someone needs to decide that they want to sell the piece before I can buy it from them. And then I have to have it transported and so on, blah, blah. You get it. But stay tuned. Also follow me on Instagram because I update there very often. And it's easier to talk on Instagram, but yeah, let me know if you want to see another Scandinavian furniture modern classics video, and I will see you soon again. I hope.